Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm a naturopath from Melbourne, and what I love about the liver is it's an organ that can repair itself. Today we're going to talk about 4 things. What is fatty liver disease? How is it diagnosed? How the liver sees sugar like alcohol. What are the signs and symptoms? And if you hold on to the end, I'll talk to you about my favourite herb for fatty liver disease. So basically, as the name suggests, fatty liver is a build-up of fat cells in the liver, because what happens is too much energy is coming in the form of food, which is broken down to glucose. Your body stores that in the liver so that you've got a supply of energy when you're not eating. But with fatty liver disease, too much fat has been stored in the liver and now it doesn't know what to do with it. Often what can happen is that fatty liver disease is often together with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance or pre-diabetic state, and that's because the pancreas actually works together with the liver in order to put the energy from food away as fat stores if it's not needed at the time. And when this happens, there can be a cluster of diseases called metabolic syndrome. And this can include a lot of things, but it can lead to cardiovascular and heart issues. So it's really important to get onto it at this time. Another thing that can happen is with the liver, it can get damaged to the point of psoriasis, which is when scar tissue forms. So we really want to prevent that happening and treat the liver while it's at that fatty liver disease point before it gets any worse. So fatty liver disease is diagnosed via blood tests. There's some enzymes that are tested, so they're ALP, ALT, AST and GGT, and these are used for the diagnosis of fatty liver disease. If you're wondering if fatty liver disease is a possibility, you're at really high risk of fatty liver disease if your waist to hip ratio is out of proportion, in that there's a greater amount of fat around your abdominal organs, around your liver, your pancreas, and those other organs. So the way that you can test this or check this actually is if you run a tape measure around your waist and one around your hips. For females, it's at the smallest point and the largest point. For males, it's at the navel and the hip bone. And you want to divide the waist number by the hip number, and for females your ideal health is that it's less than 0.8, and for males less than 1. That's one way, if you're uncertain if you're at risk for fatty liver disease, that can give you some indication. Don't go by that alone, go off to your doctor and have a blood test if that's going on for you. So your pancreas produces insulin, which is required to take the sugar, which is broken down to glucose, and to put it away in your cells as energy. And what happens is it is stored as fat once the cells have the energy that they need. What happens when you drink alcohol is it's stored straight in the liver without the need for the pancreas. So what happens is you can have fatty liver disease without type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance if it's from alcohol. But if your fatty liver is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, you're more likely to have insulin resistance or pre-diabetes, because the pancreas has had to produce that insulin in order to put the sugar away. And what's happened is over time, it's run out of capacity. There's so much sugar coming in, or white refined grains that require that insulin to put it away. So that pancreas is really struggling. As far as the liver's concerned, it's getting overwhelmed with too much energy in the form of glucose, both from alcohol and from sugar. If it's not sugar, it can be white refined carbohydrates, but the problem is it has too much of it. Signs and symptoms of liver disease. So one of the first things that you can notice with liver disease is you will feel exhausted. So fatigue is a really major part of this. Often people will feel their fatigue most likely after lunch. If you're someone that needs a coffee to get you through the afternoon, if you're someone who feels like as soon as you've had lunch you could go to sleep, it's a sign that your liver's not functioning optimally. You may not be to the point of liver disease, but that's a really common sign. Headaches are another thing that can be caused by your liver not functioning well. And the other thing that your liver does, so your liver metabolizes all of your drugs that you take in, so that includes tobacco as well as prescription medications, and so that can put a load on the liver. The other thing that the liver processes is all hormones in the body. So if you're a female and you feel like your hormones are unstable or you've got hormonal issues, sometimes the liver is one of the culprits in what's causing this problem, because the liver isn't functioning well enough to be able to clear out those hormones. So hormonal acne, hormonal headaches, any other hormonal imbalances, sometimes the liver can be at play in that case, and if you've got other signs and symptoms, that can be what's going on. So one of my favourite things to treat the liver with is a herb called St. Mary's thistle or milk thistle. It's a very commonly available herb, and it has an amazing action on your liver. So obviously if you're on any medications, you want to have it checked that it's okay to take with those, but if you're looking for something to start with for your liver, St. Mary's thistle is a really lovely herb. Now, if you want to work on your diet, which is another really good place, if your poor diet, being high in alcohol, being high in sugar, has caused your fatty liver disease, you want to treat it with diet, here's my video here that tells you about diet for fatty liver disease.